Hey everyone, this is Brian. Welcome back to another BW video, and today I am reviewing my custom WrestleMania 39, the Demon Finn Balor. Will there be other WrestleMania 39 customs? Yes, but I would like to start with the one I am most hyped for, and that is this guy right here. Now, I have a long history with Balor customs. His first Demon attire was the first custom I made to introduce myself when I started using IG. After that, I was making all of his Demon attires, but this one may be the best one. Let's go through what I used and how everything was made. I didn't record the entire process, and that is because I was in the middle of experimenting. I didn't know if all the parts were going to work together, and I also tried to give him the drop down feature on his legs. Was I successful? Let's find out. Okay, so getting right into making the drop down legs feature, I took out CM Punk's legs from the fodder bin, cracked open the top part to remove them from the pegs. This was actually my first time doing this too, so that's why it wasn't as clean as I wanted it to be. After all the years of wondering what was inside, there is his helmet. My first idea was to use his helmet on another peg, and the one at the top is from the Marvel Legends Symbiote Spider-Man figure. Next thing I did was sanding it with a Dremel to match the metal pegs in order to get the two helmets to fit. So I got them to fit, but the problem I ran into was how loose they were. The cut on these helmets wouldn't seal tightly. Even after gluing the leg pieces back together, my Finn Balor just wouldn't stand. So I ended up starting over, grabbing a new pair of legs from a Stone Cold figure, cracked it open clean, and this time ditching those helmets, and used putty to sculpt on the Spidey pegs instead. This was the best solution I came up with because it worked perfectly. No more loosey Finn. Next step is trying to get it to fit the hip piece of Kenny Omega. And this one was a little tricky. I had to cut out the top peg so I can still connect the torso, getting it to look like this. And this is what it should look like. You still have the stabilized top peg while leaving room for the bottom pegs for the legs. I had to sand the bottom part of the hip piece because I noticed that it's too wide for the feature to fully function. I then sand and sculpt to get the leg pegs to fit perfectly. Didn't mean to expose his crotch on your screen, but this is the moment where I was proud of myself. I'm also going to be using another Kenny Omega figure, and that's because the unmatched version comes with two open hands, and I need those for this custom. This is me testing out the drop down feature, and as you can tell, I was loving it. He's doing all the poses a Demon Balor would do. He can stretch and he can crawl. Another thing I want to talk about is the head scan. The Mattel Screaming Balor is okay, but not great in my opinion. So I modified it to have a closed mouth. It still looks goofy, but at this point I was like, maybe it will look better once I paint it. Now we have a work in progress Finn Balor, all ready to be painted. But wait, we are not going to paint yet because we still need to make the head accessory. I use Procreate Putty for this because it is durable, flexible, and you can also carefully remove it after sculpting onto the head. And before attaching all the other things, I want to paint it first, give it a nice finish while it's easy to do so. After that, I made a trip down to my local Hobby Lobby store to spend some time purchasing some materials I needed to complete the headdress. Here we have some cutout leather, cutout bendy wires. Yeah, most of them were just jewelry materials. I also organized them, that way I know the placement of each slot. What I did next was very tedious. I added super glue into each slot. And then after that, I used like a little tweezer to insert all the materials inside. Now we're getting into the final part of the headdress. I got these little pins to make to do all the spikes on his headdress. I cut out the end parts. That way I can just stick them onto the sculpt very easily. The rest was just me painting the figure like you've seen me done a million times. So I'm not going to include all that in the video. However, you can still watch me paint on either my YouTube Shorts or my Instagram Reels. Here is me playing with the finished product. It looks super badass and I'm super proud of the outcome. I wish I could make multiple of these to share with everyone, but a lot of effort went into this one. Here is the finished headpiece. All the needles are painted. I know I could have used the Elite 98 Finn Balor head accessory, but I wanted this custom to look more authentic. This is the skirt that he wore during his entrance. I don't know the entire look of the skirt, so I did what I can to make it look as close as possible using all the references I can find. I added Velcro so it can be removable, but as you can see, there's also some stitches and some gluing. Here's a closer look at the figure with all the accessories on it. Very detailed and very nicely hand painted. I also ended up sculpting onto the neck peg because his head was very loose, but now it fits, and I even super glued around the neck area to prevent paint from chipping, of course. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to include the process of making all the tassels. It's pretty simple. I cut out pieces of Mattel's elbow pads and knee pads to use them as armbands. Then I cut out strips from a purple and red t-shirt and then glued them on. Here's me showing all the hand-painted tattoos and snakeskin designs on his tights and knee pads. Let me also show you guys how good the legs are. You can get him to kick up this high. Look at that. He is the next Karate Kid. There you have it, guys. Let me know down in the comments of what you think of this video and this custom. I know that I still need to update the look of this channel and create a new intro for the upcoming videos. Life is just busy right now, but I'll try my best to put out lots of content for you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new to this channel. I would appreciate that. And stay tuned for the next one. See ya.